那一句话从上一次到现在，师父不担心，没有那种的担心。我们做了我们的付出，我们的心最好的，所以其他的全部给大自然安排。
其实呢，我们从阿查与师父开始，都已经看到很多是一个家庭来的，是爸爸妈妈带哥哥弟弟妹妹这样子一家人来，然后回去的时候看到那些家人都很开心，大家都好像去了个家庭聚会，然后也很少演出会适合给父母亲看的，因为尤其是家里的爷爷啊奶奶啊，就是更长辈的，其实我们在市场上真的没有太多的活动适合他们的，所以我觉得这个时候可以带他们来。
这一次的活动最大的目的是让大家有方法可以解决问题，因为人人都会有遇到问题，佛陀的方法来解决问题是非常非常的圆满，因为佛陀讲的是没有任何的宗教的色彩，这个是适合每一个人，因为不是只有佛教徒才有智慧，所有的人，所有全世界所有的种种的种族都有智慧都是一样的，对，所以适合大家。
2026年1月31号，我们总共有2场演出，一个是下午2点半，另外一场呢是晚上7点，
在新庄文化艺术中心，欢迎大家，期待你们。
谢谢我们的天松师父、天松法师以及杨导演为我们一一解释跟诠释我们如何生产出一个无感响艳的法语花香的舞台剧。我愿大家呢细心在聆听，待会我们的预告片，请大家稍微等待一下咯，感谢大家。在这2026年的开始，我们法语花香 Tia 就一直都为大家提供一系列的线上课程以及实体课。我们的法语花香的活动舞台剧不仅仅只是一天的舞蹈，它是一系列联系到我们的生活中，所以从庆功开始到解脱。现在我们可以看到预告片里面的话，法语花香想呈现的事情的呈现给予大家。
师父呢，很想跟大家分享霍西亚的故事。师父会用很多梵文的名字，我们慢慢的习惯它，因为它是他原来的名字。霍西亚是非常出名，他的出名是非常吝啬。
想要好的生活，所以累。
一生一跳一吸，连接我们身心。
想要有个依靠，所以流浪。 当泥土忘记种子，当潮汐忘记月亮，当篝火忘记黑暗，当呼吸忘记了风向。
导演通过的声音传递动我们的巴利文，让我们再次明白佛陀古老的智慧。
从此草野死亡之王的长空和超梦解脱。
万物都会从春天开始重生。八朵花代表八朵生命，这些连接，找回觉醒，找回自己。
季节在转变，像浮云依偎着蓝天，终究会有落下的雨点。呀达比如既然不看，花儿初绽放，达比萨干达卡。
火花老师非常安定的在那边负责他当下的禅意花艺。我们运用五感、声音、看、触感、心去练习我们这一场的法语花香。期待与大家再次的相聚一堂。每一次的看，每一次的音乐，每一次的旋律，还有每个的气息，都因为当下而不一，而不同的呈现。请大家可以跟我们再连聚在一堂。对，谢谢大家。今天我会把我们的麦克风交回给我们的地会，因为谢谢他待会帮我们再介绍天松法师以及我们来自印度的南达居。谢谢大家从一开始的1个月来，从清空开始到解剖，现在我们来到黄金篇了。黄金篇，愿大家可以跟2位大师一起好好的对谈，好好的理解，好好深的如何把我们所学的方法、佛法、瑜伽还有五感联系回到我们生活间。谢谢大家，地会交给你咯。
好的，大家好，我是地慧，我今天会是天松法师的翻译。Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Di Hui. I'll be the interpreter of Master Tianzong today. 今天的课程由2位大师来讨论关于整合与觉醒。请先让我介绍2位大师。Today's course, we have 2 great masters discussing about integration and awakening. Please allow me to start by introducing the 2 masters. Nandakumar 大师是一位来自印度南部的瑜伽大师，从1990年起已经练习瑜伽数十年了。在他的历程中，是从伟大的吠陀老师 Swami Dayanandaji from Rishikesh 伟大的瑜伽大师 Guruji BKS Iyengar 以及其他许多大师。他于马来西亚创立了 BKS Iyengar Yoga Shala 瑜伽学校。如今他带着瑜伽的智慧旅行，透过瑜伽为世界各地的学生疗愈身心。Master Nandaji is a yoga master from South India who has been practicing yoga for decades since the 1990s. Throughout his journey, he has studied under the great Vedanta teacher Swami Dayanandaji of Rishikesh, the legendary yoga master Guruji BKS Iyengar, and many other masters. Nandaji runs a yoga school in Malaysia called BKS Iyengar Yoga Shala. Today, he travels with the wisdom of yoga, sharing his teaching with students around the world, bringing healing through yoga. 天松法师是印度裔的马来西亚人，从小学习瑜伽与佛法，在印度取得瑜伽博士，现在是金山寺监院。师父认为人需要有健康的身体，才能有健康的修行，所以也在中山大学和自然呼吸瑜伽馆教授瑜伽哲学与阿育吠陀的课程。Master Tiensong is a Malaysian of Indian heritage. Since childhood, he has studied both yoga and Buddhist teachings, and later earned a PhD in yoga in India. He is now the assistant of abbot of Jinsan Temple. Master Tiensong believes that a healthy body is a foundation for a healthy spiritual practice. In line with this view, he also teaches courses on yoga philosophy and Ayurveda at Sun Yat-sen University and at Fresh Yoga Studio. 那么我们的课程即将开始。开始前，请大家留意2件事情。第一件，如果有任何的提问，可以透过打字来提出你的问题。Q&A 的时候，大师们会逐一回答。第二件，本场活动是同步即时中英口译。如果有需要翻译，请选择中文频道；不需要翻译的同学则可以选择英文频道，就不会听到翻译的声音。Now the course is about to start. There are 2 things we would like you to notice. First, if you have any questions, please type it down. In Q&A session, masters will answer them in order. Second, this course has simultaneous English-Chinese interpretation. Choose English channel to only hear the master speaking, and choose Chinese channel to listen with Chinese interpretation. So now, let's hand over the mic to the 2 masters. 那现在我们把麦克风交给2位大师。
Hello, Master Ji. Namaste.
Namaste.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, very good. Quite some time. And today's discussion is about how to go back to real life after they learn all this knowledges about shutting down the mind and about the pain, because you already had like a few series of classes. So I think with the humble request, and I would like to Master Ji start for the beginning of the session, like how after we learned so much, all this technical knowledge, bearing the pain and how to understand the pain and shutting down the mind and the benefits of shutting down the mind. But in reality, it's very challenging for everyone. And so how you see it from your perspective, could you give some examples and how we can apply all the teachings?
Thank you, Ji.
Yes.
I heard that you were teaching about the pain and how to bring the observation of that in your previous sessions.
Yes.
Okay, those who are online, I hope my sound is good. My sound is okay. If something is not clear, please make us know. Bring into daily life. Our whole pursuit, whatever we are doing, whether we are practicing yoga or not really pursuing any particular spiritual way, but every day we want to know how to live. So from childhood, the parents are teaching, or the school, the teachers are teaching, and various methods or techniques
It's all about how I live my life. The definition or the description may be different. Okay, I'm cooking, I learn how to cook, or I'm eating this time, or I'm studying this subject, I'm learning this skill, and I'm working towards gaining something. It's all different, the description of particular action. But the fundamental, I would say, requirement or the direction is about how I live my life. So we are learning, then we are listening from various masters. It starts from parents. I would say our first masters are parents. So from them, then it keep going into various ways. Through that we are learning. Now whatever we are learning, the result will come only when we are applying. Now here when we study yoga and other things, okay, accept how it comes, and you can expect but don't worry about the result. You have to accept the result. So all these things, it looks very philosophical. That's why a lot of people, when they hear that, oh, it is in the book, Buddha can do, I cannot do, these kind of things comes. So there is a lot of gap, what we know, what we understand, into what we do in action. I would say one of the reason we want the result instantly, and in fact the technology improvement, it's making us to think more and more in that way. I want the result now. So we learn and we want to apply, and we are applying and we don't see the result. Quite a lot of practitioners, they give up faster also, because I apply today, no result, then immediately come to the conclusion it is not for me, or I will do after retirement, or I will do next life, this life I cannot. So get into these fast conclusions in order the main reason is because the expectation also in that fast they are expecting. So to know that, we need to understand how our mind works. Right now, whatever we are thinking, our desire, our interests, even our likes and dislikes, it has a long history, a long past experiences. The way we are thinking, the way we are doing, it's based on combination of a lot of past experiences. Even though we may think, I am thinking today and I am getting into action. For example, what is the meal for today's lunch? It looks like I decide now, I get into action, I had my meal. But in full picture, in total understanding, if we look into, to choose which meal, which food I have to eat, and how I am going to cook, or how I am going to get, how I am going to eat, in what order I will eat, how much I will eat, with whom I will eat, where I will eat. It's all not just decided by now. The action eating decided or happening now, but it is the continuation of the past desires, past experiences, past skills, past communications, past relationships. So there is so many things behind that to do one action now. So I heard now I have to accept everything, what it comes, as it happens means enjoy. But when I come into action, I'm not doing the action based on now, the action is based on the past. It looks like now, but actually it is from the past. So now if I want to change that, say this particular meal is not good, I want to change that. It may not happen now, but it starts from this observation, this particular meal I should avoid or I should not eat now. So it is like driving 180 kilometer per hour in a highway, breaking the rule. That's what we are doing. The whole life actually we are breaking the rule. So driving, and suddenly you see that, oh, this is too fast, we need to stop. Even you put sudden brake, which is not good, which is not a safe way to do that. You have to really take your foot from the accelerator pedal. You have to really like take out first slowly. Then you need to prepare. Even if you want to put sudden brake, you have to prepare. Then you press. Then the brake has been applied. Then the car stops. It looks like sudden brake. It looks like done in few seconds. But there are a lot of actions even in that moment, that short moment. After applying the brake also, sudden brake also, the car won't stop in that particular point. It will still, there is a momentum, there is a movement. It may be even 5 millimeter or 5 centimeter, but still the momentum is there. The car will stop after that movement completing. Like that. I heard this, I want to apply that. Now I want to bring that into my daily life. Even one thing, it takes its own time. The break time, the application time, the extra movement time. So in the car, it may be less than 5 seconds, but in life, it may take 5 months or 5 years, depends on that particular action and the habits related with in the past. That means the experience in the past. So that's why it takes quite some time. So it's all rooted towards our habits.
But the question is, Master Ji, that I don't have patience. You know, this is the public's view or their sound. That I don't have patience. I need the result right now. So, what is the shortcuts? The shortcuts or the immediate result path you could advise?
Actually, what is given for us is only shortcuts. These various techniques, I'm sure you already taught this and already explain to many students. The masters are asking to do only one thing. The shortcut, it is the shortest one. There is no other option. Like, watch your breath, observe your breath. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to buy something for that. You don't need to pay to anybody. You don't need to do some extra preparation. The simplest thing to do is just watch your breath, observe your breath. What else can be given shortcut, more shortcut than this?
But that is too boring. Super boring.
Yes, as I said, right, it is because of the habit. Because we keep trained, given various experience to the mind externally, continuous external journey using our senses. Outwardly, we have been living all along, and that is the way whatever the life, the various habits based on that external practice or external activities. Now, this transformation, what we want to gain, to apply the knowledge we know, apply in daily life, apply in every moment. It is kind of U-turn in the same highway. All along we are pressing the accelerator pedal so strongly and continuously. It is because our understanding, our interest is, I have to really go in that speed to reach that destination, and I am going to gain everything in that destination. So I have to really, within my lifetime, this short span of time, I have to reach. So we have been keep on pressing the accelerator pedal continuously. Sometimes even standing on top of the accelerator pedal and driving. And then suddenly we gain this idea. The signboard says, don't go there. Teachers are coming and saying there, that's not the way. Masters are appearing and guiding that, no, this is not the direction. Then we realize, oh no. Then where is the direction? They say you have to U-turn. So because of this U-turn, any kind of big road, great vehicle, it takes some time to take the U-turn. For us also, it's the same. So recognize, stop, find a way to make the U-turn. So we need to give time. So the habits we identify and the habits we change, that time. And there is no other choice.
So there is two questions I could raise. This is my mind. I stand from the public view, so that I was born like this. So whose mistake is that for me to learn everything externally? Because all my senses, eyes, ears, nose, everything is external. So this is how I use all the senses to mix with this world, to understand the world. And this is how I was brought up. This is how my parents were given birth to. And I'm learning everything externally. And is it my mistake? This is how I have been learning so far. And the second question is, when do I know exactly for me, to do the U-turn?
It's a factory defect. So by birth it comes, but it looks like that I have given like that, but it is not. We all born in that way. The reason it's that's how we come to know about life or about ourselves. Our senses need to go externally, travel outwardly in order to live. So a baby looking at the mother, looking at the father, recognizing father, mother, sound, then they teach. So it has to hear, it has to see. So we have to use the senses externally in order to know what is what. This is food. This is object. This is people. This is house. This is sky. This is moon. This is sun. So we have to learn by sending our senses externally to know what is what. In order to go inward, or in order to know that I need to observe my breath or I need to look into my mind, we need this preparation to travel external world. Without that, already the mind is empty. To some extent, we can say, maybe not completely, but to some extent, the mind doesn't have that much knowledge about the current world by birth. It's a kind of empty slate. In one layer, at least, we can say. There are already a lot of things we gain. I mean, we come with the default. It is there already. Inbuilt is there already. But the current world conditions, whatever the time we take birth. So in order to know, we need to learn. To learn means the senses need to go outward. So if I have to know what is apple, what is orange, what is edible, what is not edible. So everything I need to learn. So this is the whole learning process. If we don't do that, when we go inward, we may not able to recognize many things. So that's the beauty of it, or that's the disadvantage, or that's the advantage, or that's called life.
Thank you, Master.
So we have to go outward to recognize I don't need to go, I have to go inward. Then I know what is inward. So I need to go into this direction to know this is not the direction. That's how the factory set up.
Okay. So another very interesting question. So why it is so hard for people to gain happiness or peace externally? Why we have to go internally for that? Because all the great masters, all the great teachers, they keep this meditation and go inward, concentrate and breathe
Master, your voice a little bit not clear.
Okay, Masterji. So again, I will repeat again.
Yeah,
Okay.
better now.
So why all the masters, all the great masters, all the great teachers taught us to go internally for gaining the peace and the happiness. So why we can't get or reach the same happiness and same peace externally.
I think this talk is supposed to be a discussion, right? It is not only.
Yeah. Because I want to hear your view. You know, I really want to hear your view. Yes.
Okay. The happiness we receive through any means, by person, by places, by things, obviously we all know it's not lasting longer. The joy, the enjoyment, however strong, great, it comes with the expiry date. I'm so happy to spend my time with this person. Whenever I'm meeting, spending, and I'm so happy, so joyful, but to certain time, up to certain time. "24 hours, can I stay with that person?" Can. 1 hour together, other 23 hours in different places.
But I can be with you.
Expiry date. So that everything, nature or person, anything, it's all our experience. In childhood time, we enjoy something, we work very hard to get that. We don't want to eat until my father getting that toy, the new car. But after one day gone, and we keep changing. We all can relate. Everybody can relate. Every enjoyment comes with expiry date. However great, it's with me or not with me, I have to work hard, get it. So the nature, by nature, everything, the enjoyment it gives, it's a diminishing, it's a reducing or disappearing, and it is not really giving the satisfaction. Otherwise, we should be already happy with what we have. But it's always disappearing. Why it is like that? Because the happiness we think that we are receiving from the person or place or things, actually the reflection of the happiness what we are. Or in other words, that's why masters are saying, your true nature itself happiness. By default, the happiness is there within you. You don't need to do anything for that, because that's the true nature. That what we are gaining from other things looks like happy. Okay, I'm getting this particular meal, I'm happy. I'm traveling to this place, I'm happy. I am spending time with this person, I'm happy. It looks like the happiness comes from them or things, but it's because your true nature is already happiness. It's the reflection gaining from them. In order to recognize that the happiness I am getting from outside, it is not coming from them, it is coming from me. In order to recognize that, every master's clearly saying the any type of happiness, any type of joy you gain from externally comes with the expiry date. You are that true happiness. So look inward to recognize this happiness so that we will not look outward to be happy. And that's the freedom.
Thank you, Master. So
I'm sure you have more and some other perception on this. So I and others want to hear also.
right. So how I view all these senses is it's so beautiful. I always feel that I'm so lucky that I have eyes externally. You know, I'm so lucky to have my ear externally. Uh, I have all my senses, externally, because this is how I can choose what I want, and this is how I have chance to interact with my senses directly to the world what I want. And I really believe everyone in this world want to have freedom. It doesn't matter who, but even animals. Birds like to fly. Not in the cage. Even the fish, all the animals, wild animals, not in the zoo. And human being, they like to be free. Even child, when you control them, they dislike. So, so when we use all our senses properly, then I would say we can have our real freedom. So now the question is, as Masterji said, everything has the expire date, and I totally agree with you, and I really with you, and I agree. And yes, so everything has expire date. So once we go towards the happiness or the freedom, what we want. Uh, for example, the iPhone. Let's say iPhone. So we have the latest iPhone. I really don't know what is the current latest iPhone. Is it 17 or 16? Masterji?
I think 17.
17. Okay. So the latest iPhone 17, and if you feel that you will have the happiness once you get the iPhone, yes, definitely. So once you get the iPhone, and it might get lost due to your memory. Sometimes you put here and then you search, and let's say you forgot, and someone stole it. Definitely your happiness is gone, because your happiness is very short time, because you put your happiness, you attach your happiness to the device, to the device. So your happiness is gone, and you start to have, unhappiness, not satisfied, dissatisfaction. And so if we use anything externally as a tools, just tools, if you have and we are using, if you don't have, if you could be balanced, then you are not attached to anything. So I see this external senses is really helping us to differentiate at the same time. And if internally our mind is not attached or not bound to anything, and we really could have that happiness, because mind, which is not visible, it's not tangible as well. So it's hard to see, but we can feel it. we can understand. So that is the part we need to guide, because mind is not external, mind is internal. So therefore, all these tools like eyes, ears, nose, and your mouth and your skins externally, and it's just as a tool. And when we use those and to find real happiness, it's limited. So once we go internally to understand the need of the happiness. So a lot of people, they want to be free and then they do what they want. Yes, as long as you have the strength, physically fit, physically strength when you have, and you will definitely have that happiness for time. Even though you face a problem and you can, find new one. If you lost one iPhone, you can buy another iPhone if you have money, right? But the problem is how long. You will get a time that physically you are not fit and you don't have strength. So that is the moment, the problem, real problem arises internally. Mentally, all the problems, it will just come just like a volcano. One by one, whatever thoughts you have, as Masterji said, I really like everything. Whenever you do anything, any actions, it is not on that time, on the spot. Everything is an habit. It comes from time, for some time, for you to decide or to create a certain action. So that habits you already have used to it, and the mind automatically creates a lot of trouble, and which you cannot have control. You don't have control. So when you go internally, I would say meditation. This is, as Masterji said, that is the only way we can calm the mind first. Why, when we do the meditation, why we have to close our eyes? Yes, of course, you can open your eyes and do meditation, but that is for advanced practitioners. So when you close your eyes, so that at least one senses is closed, it's easier for you to have less disturbance through eyes, slowly through ears or through nose. And we're trying to shut down all the external senses to find the internal mind. So once you understand the habits of the mind, and once you not only understand and have the serious talk, you and your mind, the serious talk, why you need this, and what do you want to achieve, So once you have the control of the mind, and I feel it is easier for a human being to have a control of the senses. And all the great masters, and I always question to my students that do you think Buddha has feelings? And they said no. Mostly the students say no, Buddha doesn't have feelings. Then I said, is it Buddha is a wood or a stone? Wood and stone doesn't have feelings. Buddha has feelings. He is a human being. He's not in coma stage, or I would say paralyzed. He's physically fit. If a person is physically fit, he will have a very normal body as us, but he will be very aware, more sensitive. So his feeling has more sensitive, but his reaction, whatever he receives, whatever he sees through his eyes or listen to his ears and understand the smell or whatever, or through the five senses, the reaction is different. than like ordinary people like us. So this is where the problems, the problem comes. Usually we go for, we do everything according to our mind, because mind needs many things. That is unstoppable. So the more mind needs, the more problems we have been creating for ourselves through eyes, nose, ears, tongues, and skin. Naturally we create, and then we suffer, and then we complain. And then complain would be others, not us. So that suffering, when it comes to the point where you have no one to complain, loneliness. In a human being, it will come a time for all of us to be alone. So that is the time will be, the real suffering comes. Or what we call like your beloved, family member, one day will pass away. They won't be around you. Your friend will be, not around you or passed away, or staying very far from you. So the pain comes. So this is where we have to train our mind. If you train your mind when you are fit, physically fit, to train your mind. Yes, Masaji. When you need to train mind, you really need a lot of strength. If you are not physically fit, it is very, very hard to train the mind. So I see this, that first understand what we want in our life, then you decide. We have to decide personally whether you need peace, and what type of peace. You need like unexpired peace or expired peace.
Somebody talking in the Zoom.
Yeah. I really wish the listeners could put your microphone in mute system. That would be nice. Very kind. Thank you. Yes, Master.
But what is there's one thing you mentioned about controlling.
Yes.
Is it really possible? Is it in our hand?
Certain things, yes, certain things we can control. Certain things we cannot control. For example, our heart, like auto system, what's happening in our system, all our organs. It's you don't have control, but partially yes. But many desires, and we can control, and we can decide as well. But now the question is how long you could have the patience. You can control, and then how long you can be controlled. That is another issue.
Yeah, but what I see, it looks like we are controlling,
Right.
but in this approach, there is a possibility of suppression.
Right. Agree.
Because we have this kind of interest or understanding that okay, I should not eat this chocolate, okay, or I should not eat this many chocolates. So then I want to eat, but I know it's not healthy eating a lot of chocolate. Then I control not to eat. So because when we say control, I feel it goes into that direction, the understanding. instead, I want to eat chocolate, and I had or already I get the taste of it. And even if I don't get the taste of it, but I get this understanding or clarity, this is not required now, even though I have the desire. With this clarity, I'm transcending this thought into need, from desire into not necessity, no necessity. So that transcendence, instead of I had the desire, then I control, I go into the root of the desire, where the desire comes, there itself the transcendence I feel should happen. Even I am living inside the chocolate factory, I am not getting the desire to taste one chocolate. So I want to differentiate between, I'm sure you also mean the same way, but the controlling and to the desired transcendence.
I really like Masterji, what you say. Suppression and clarity is a two beautiful different words, you have used. So, yes, definitely when you, this is how we learn after we born. I believe everyone go through the childhood life, and we have a lot of desires. I still remember when I was young, I like to watch Spider-Man cartoon at that time. Spider-Man, right? So whenever I watch the cartoon, and the parents, they want to change the channel, and it's so difficult for me to tell them, let me finish, almost climax, let me finish. And parents, they have their control over the remote control. They change the channel, and I have a lot of suppressions. I just want to get older very soon, so that I can have a control of everything, just like the parents does.
Almost
Yes,
every childhood dream.
right. So
Want to grow faster.
yes, exactly. Because we want freedom. Because we see parents, they doesn't have anyone controlling them. They can go anytime. Once they're adult, they can do whatever they want. So yes, we go through that suppression. I believe everyone goes through suppression. Once the understanding comes, once the clarification comes, naturally. So naturally, we don't have that urge. We don't have that urge towards the uh, chocolate. Another point of view is, for example, a lot of people nowadays, they have diabetes. They are sugar patients. Even though they love to eat sugary products, but they can't. They are suppressing. So really, we have to learn why we have to be controlled. So I would give like my real examples, that once I was young, and when I was young, I used to eat all the non-veg, non-vegetarian food. And one day my uncle told me, and you are cleaning the altar, prayer altar. Are you vegetarian? If you are vegetarian, yes, you are welcome to clean the altar, prayer altar. And I said, no, I am not vegetarian today. And he said, no, you shouldn't. So that is the time I was realizing, oh, I should be clean, to clean the altar, prayer room. So since then, so whenever I clean, I'm vegetarian on that day, and when I'm not clean, and I'm not, but naturally I like to clean the prayer halls. Then I became vegetarian naturally, very naturally. But whenever I see the chicken curry, my grandma's food, the desire comes naturally. That aroma, Indian curry aroma, it's so nice. So naturally the urge comes. And so after I became a monk, I have learned that I should have the compassion towards the all on this earth. I should have compassion towards all the animals, all the creatures. So naturally, whenever I see them, how to say that, I don't have that urge. I pity on them, but I didn't quit the dairy products. So once I quit the dairy products, naturally I could not eat the cheesecake, right? Because it's full of milk. And yes, because the desire to eat cheesecake, it's creamy, it's nice. So I have suppressed for some time, and then naturally I'm aware of these sugary products. So this is I really felt like whenever you want to learn something, give yourself sufficient time to practice, and then naturally it becomes habit, and clarification comes, and then understanding comes, and then naturally when your senses sees all these objects, naturally you don't have that feeling or urge. So for that, I feel like we need to train our mind. Without training, it's very hard.
On behalf of students, I'm going to ask you a difficult question.
Yeah, please, Masterji, and please be kind towards me. I'm still in learning process.
In order to go inward, I should not eat meat. By birth, if I am, my family, all those things, all these various things. So because that's where the challenge comes. Why I'm asking this question, because we are talking about the daily life application. Now, in my culturally, racially, country-wise, the background, everything, it's a day in, day out. Now, I learned this. Then comes this master talking about giving up chicken curry. So, in order to go inward, now this is already a very challenging one to let go. And here, this is the requirement. So, is it really required? Number one, if that is the only way, is there no other option that I don't need to suppress, at the same time I'm not craving for it, I can go flow in that?
Right. I really like your questions, Sadhu. So, in order, according to my personal views and what I have observed, all the great masters from yoga field or from Buddhist fields, and I have learned that to go inward, internally, to find that peace, food is variable. As long as you have the control of your mind, you are succeeded. You are succeeded. Definitely, you are completely succeeded. Whether you are eating vegetarian or whether you are eating non-vegetarian, it's okay. But there is a question comes. human doing everything is related to their mind. Before my actions, before my body actions, mind, the thought comes first. So this is how we trained our mind. So whatever we do in our daily life, for example, we are eating, we are drinking, we are sleeping, we are exercising, we are working, we are speaking, we are listening. What else? So whatever daily life, daily activities. So when we comes to internal practice, we have to cut down everything. We have to, cut down. If you don't want to cut down, it is very hard for a person, very hard for a person. It is not impossible. It's very hard for a normal person to go inward easily. So they can sit, everyone can sit for some time. There is no issue. The problem is the thoughts. It will comes again and again and again and again. So to understand and to have control of the mind, we have to sacrifice, and we have to do certain practices, and we have to do certain things, our daily habits. So for sometimes, and if whatever we do, we can reduce. So once we stop immediately, the big reactions, naturally comes outside. For example, hard to accept. No, the inner sound, no, this is what I don't want. This is what I really want. Why I'm doing this. Those kind of an internal noise. It's a very big noise. That's where people, it's very hard for them to go internally very quickly or naturally. So we have to reduce everything, not only food. Food is just one part. Food is just one part. And, music, whatever we see, whatever we use. So we have to cut down everything for the mind to have that habit of silence, peace. So once you have a control, I would say, you are succeeded. And then all those masters, once they have controlled their mind perfectly, and for them, they see the world very differently. They don't have, I would say, they don't have the problems, internal mentally problems or mental suffer, I would say, a mental suffer like us. So for that, we have to reduce, I would say, and if you can stop everything, naturally, then you will have very quick understand how your mind works. So for that, we have to do certain practice. So that is why I would say, like opposite, opposite of killing, we do compassion, serving. Opposite of cheating, we do honest. So opposite of stealing, we do giving. Everything we do opposite for the mind to have a certain peace. If not, our mind have naturally have suffering. Because we already have inherited some part of karma, I would say, habits, the patterns of our habitual things, in the past and until now. And it's very hard for our mind to still right away. So for that, we need to change the habits. Yes.
I think that's why everybody's saying it's very difficult to practice.
Yes, Master. Yes, it's difficult for practice, and but I would say why we have to practice. So first, you have to understand. You should, the person who wants to practice, they should have a clarification and understanding before they start anything. If they don't have, and it's very hard for them. And I really like what Buddha has said from Buddha's view that suffering and he saw the human being and all the sentient beings in the world suffer. We have a suffering, because whenever we have the enjoyment, no one complains. Whenever we suffer, we complain. That is where the problem comes. So when the problem comes, so now the question is the solution. So before we have the solution, first we have to understand. The real understanding, when it comes, then we will find the solution. So for the solution, then we have to, reduce everything. Like we're trimming the tree, make it beautiful. Our mind is just like a tree, big tree. We have to trim. If we don't trim, it will be very scary.
In our current lifestyle, the family nucleus, social, the society set up. A lot of interdependence. So even I want to do something, change something, cut down something, as you have been explaining. The challenge comes from first from my family members, next from my neighbors, then from the society, then from my working place. So it's not the current arrangement, the environment, the ecosystem is there to really bring that direction where we can cutting down. I say, okay, I don't want to buy this. I go out, big billboard says, buy this one, other one you get free. Temptation comes. Open the phone, it says last day offer. Tomorrow it is going to be 50% more. Even for yoga classes, right? So that whole ecosystem, it is not really supporting, rather it is making more challenging. Then when I see cut down, I have to cut down the family itself, which is not possible.
Right. Yeah. Yes, Masterji. So it is very natural. It is a very natural for this ecosystem. For example, I can give example like my uncle. He's a Buddhist, and his master is my master. Okay, so he respects my master very much. Very much means extreme respect for my master. And naturally, I want to follow my master's footsteps. And when I want to become a monk, he was so angry. He was extremely angry, extreme angry. So, how can you become a monk? Why you want to become a monk? How dare you? For me, is so confused. You respect my master so much, and when your family member wants to become a monk, and you are extremely, opposed And I understood that he wants me to enjoy the life like him, a married life, a family life with the children, the ecosystem, you know. And but my mind, naturally, my mind want to be, you know, like my master. So this is what my mind wants to do. Monks have the monks ecosystem, right? And a family member, they have another ecosystem. So where you want to put yourself, and yes, definitely I see that. But for some time, the challenging comes. Definitely there is a challenges. Challenges comes. I would say like it's very it's very natural, So we should not how to say that uh, disturbed. Yes, we should not to be disturbed by external sound. So when you have decided, when you have to decide what do you want to do, so through your behavior, I mean, when I mean behavior means, of course, positive, not negative. You have to be an example for others to follow. So that examples, and when you do positive things, and naturally you will be influence your family member, your neighbor, and now, so whenever I go back, uh, to Malaysia, my hometown, all the neighbors, no, everyone, uh, because I became a monk. After I became a monk, naturally, the family member, the acceptance, and the neighbors and the friends, the acceptance comes, and naturally, that they understood that okay, he has changed his lifestyle, and then he's doing something, and then they can see that some positive, and that positiveness they are trying to apply. So yes, challenges comes, but do not be disturbed.
But is it not setting one more expectation that my ecosystem need to change? Okay, if it is not there, then within that I have to accept, then I have to change. Why it is very difficult in our daily life? It is because we have already have certain kind of living, way of living, or gone through certain experiences. Is there any other way? It is not about change, but it is about transcendence.
I would say, you don't have to become a monk.
No, I'm not talking about becoming a monk.
Yes.
Whatever I'm doing, I'm still doing, but still I can transcend. Is there any that possibility?
Transcendent needs only for the mind, right? So mind need change. So once the mind change, your perspective, your view, your understanding change, and everything change.
Problem is changing the mind.
Right.
That's the problem, because acceptance comes later, but already when we give these conditions, okay, you have to change, you should not do that, you should do it. That's the real challenge. That's what the real challenge, why I'm not able to apply in my life. There is so many shoulds, does, you should do this. So then my habit is not based on that. Very challenging.
Yeah. How you are seeing this, master?
I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, because it's very challenging question as well. It's very challenging because so first, my question is first, why you want to be changed? So if the question is very focused, for example, I want to have peace of mind. From where? From what? My direct question is from what? From your wife, or from your husband, or from your boss, from your house owner, and then so what kind of peace you want and how long you want to peace from that. So I would ask this kind of technical questions. So if we see generally, if I want to change, and I don't want to say change, transcendent, and again, for me, I see that transcendent, I see for the mind. Everything is for that mind. When the mind is not craving, when the mind is settled down, in other words, settling down, then do we need transcendence? Do we need, when the mind is, settled down? And when I mean settled down means it's real settled. It's not like, yes, when we do something, once we achieve something, yes, it's settling down. Once you are craving for ice cream, when you eat the ice cream, then your mind is settling down. It's done. And then next time when you see again, then it appears again. Craving starts again. So I didn't mean that short-term settling down. For long-term settling down, then what else we need? So the whole game is for our mind, right? Because the mind is facing the dissatisfaction. Everything's for the mind. So once we found the inner peace, I think it doesn't matter where you are, what you are doing, what position. Just go ahead.
And what I notice, as long as we put conditions that in order to be in peace, in order to be eternal happiness, you have to do this, you should change this, you have to go this. So there is a lot of conditions coming, and I feel like in the process of fulfilling that conditions, it's already bringing certain tiredness through that various challenges. Eventually there is a mind of disappointment and everything. But is it not the whole issue comes from non-acceptance? Why I'm not accepting the other person, whether it is spouse or children or family members or friends or society? Because I expect they should do this particular way. They should behave with me the way I like. Or I judge them that they should do this way for these things. And it is not, they are going to change and things will happen. But I keep the quality or the nature of my happiness or my peaceful state based on their actions. But our experience very clearly making us to see, because we are not giving time to see, but when we see that nobody is going to change because I am asking them to change. Unless they realize themselves to do something, they do. Otherwise, I cannot change the way I want them to do at the time I want to do, it is not going to happen. May happen, but no guarantee. But generally, I don't have any authority or capacity to change others. If I have this understanding, not technically or not academically, experientially, which is what our experience also all along. We want to change our father, didn't happen. Want to change our sibling, didn't happen. Want to change our teacher, didn't happen. Want to change our neighbor's friend's behavior, didn't happen. Want to change our spouse behavior, never happens. Want to change the children's behavior, not possible. When this is very clearly our experience, why we are not seeing it. But when we start to see that, we get this understanding, and that's what I see as a clarity. I see as a transcendence. I cannot change anybody, but I can accept the result of my expectation. Like I am educating, say, my children, this is what need to do. You get up this time, you study this time, you eat this time, you play this time. Out of 10 things, 3 may happen, 5 may happen, sometimes all the 8 may happen, or 10 may happen. But there is this possibility, not everything will happen all the time. So when I expect, because the expectation is not the problem, when I expect, I see sometimes happen, sometimes not happens. So when I clearly see this, I expect if the things are happening as per my expectation, that is an auspicious day. That's a miraculous day. So if the things are not happening as per my expectation, that is very normal. That's what happens. So I don't need to really control, or I don't need to really do something. Instead, this clarity is there already, be there by naturally. So the thought itself not coming, why that person is doing like that. The person is not behaving on their own way, that's the question we have to do. How come that person is listening everything I'm saying? Otherwise, this is very normal. Others won't do as per our expectation. Similarly, when we come to our own activities, I have to get up 4 o'clock to sit for meditation. Keep the alarm. First day happening, second day not happening, third day happening, fourth day not happening. After a few weeks, gone. This question comes, how much control I have on my activities? But now comes this, all the teachings, you should do this, you should change this, all those things. So the way I look into that, it is not I have to wait until everything changing. Rather, I want to change, but certain things are changing, certain things are not changing. This condition, if I am able to accept it totally, then through that the mind naturally transcends, not by controlling or not by putting some list of do's and don'ts. Rather, this process I see simultaneously happening. I want to change, but at the same time I accept the things are not changing. So the change happens naturally, the acceptance happens naturally. So I don't wait until one fine day to be enlightened, to get the clarity. Rather, this total acceptance is the practice. Instead of I change something, afterwards I get something. Instead, can I, whatever the condition, which comes so-called positive and negative also. So it's not that I'm stopping the effort to change. Instead, I'm thinking like I make it as a natural process based on the effect of it. When I'm already feeling the pain, naturally if I'm touching the hot water, if I see the pain, if I get the pain, naturally I'm going to take the head out of the water. So through this experiential transformation, is that okay? Is that possible?
Yes, Masterji. So acceptance is itself, it's the difficult thing for everyone, for doing that. Because I see,
But is it not we are all doing it, but just by complaining? When not happening, we are accepting, but with complaints.
right, I totally agree. So I see conditions, it's everywhere. Once we were born until we die, it's difficult to stay away from all kind of conditions. So we have to learn and we have to adapt ourselves according to the situation, according to the environment, according to the culture and situation, customs. So we have to adapt. First thing, as Masterji said, acceptance. If we don't accept certain things, naturally you will be suffering. Naturally you will be suffering. First thing. Second thing, I am seeing that.
So can I say until accept the suffering?
Yeah, once you accept the suffering, now the question is, after you accept the suffering, the result is suffering or result is happy? If after you accept the suffering, if the result is suffering, then you are not accepting. So once you accept, the result should be neutral. It's not happy or it's not sad or unhappy. Then I would say it's a total acceptance. And I'm seeing that every individual human being or sentient beings, every individual sentient beings are born into this earth are totally free and totally unique. Free and unique. So we don't have any rights, any rights on that individual being to impose our thought. For certain years, into our lifetime, yes, the parents will control us, they will guiding us. The reason they are controlling us, make sure we are safe. Once you have this kind of clarity, so you don't have that kind of uneasiness. And sometimes it's over, and then even what we call the couples, they control each other very much, and the friendship, whatever relationship we have. So once we have too much thinking to control other individual beings, both will be ended up with suffering. So once you see every individual in this life are unique and they have free to decide to live how they want. Even though culture has its own pattern, but we see that everything's changing, like thousands of years, all kind of culture has been changing by the time. So now we are in the modern age, and I would say we have more understanding, we have more opportunity to understand everything. Just in your mobile, you can have the whole world now, whole culture, how we see the world. So, yes, it is our time for us to learn and to understand more. The more you understand, the more acceptance you would have, I would say, rather than controlling others and then you are suffering and then you make other people to suffer and then break up. Many children, commit suicide because of their parents. And many couples divorce because of their partner. So I would say once you accept and respect, people's idea. And I have one beautiful example. My friend in the United States, she has two beautiful boy. They're white people. And once that the elder boy, once he was about 15 years old, and he understood himself that he is not man, he's not boy, he's a girl. So he changed. So it was like a very big challenge for the parents to accept. And in America, they have that acceptance. They talk to the boy, and then he said, yes, I am a female. And yes, he changed, and he changed his name, and parents accept. And it's hard for me to accept when I meet the boy. I don't know to call him a boy as I used to, or he's a girl now, it's girl's name. Yes, once you accept everything, I think the suffering ends. And now it really depends on everyone. Do you want to reduce your suffering or increase your suffering and live until you leave this earth? Yeah, acceptance is a very beautiful words, Master. Without you accept the problems always there. So this is what I used to say to my students, that you have to be ready. You have to be ready to face the problem. Readiness should be there. Acceptance. When you are ready, you accept. Face the problem. Problem will come to you. So once you face the problem, you have to accept the problem, and then you have to find the solution. And once you find the solution, you have to make sure the problem is solved. After the problem is solved, and you have to let it go. You should not put that experience in your system that you did it. So it will affect your mind later for real peace. So I would say face the problem, find the solution, solve the problem, and let it go. Finish. So this is how we should apply many things in our daily life.
It takes back to the initial question. Applying is the problem, acceptance is the problem, bringing that knowledge into daily life practice is the problem.
Yeah. So how we see, if you see this as a problem, yes, that is a problem. If you see, life is learning, life is beautiful. I see life is a beauty. Once when I was young, I really felt my life is really problem. And later, once I learned all this, I said, life is challenges. Whenever you knows everything, what going to happen in the future, life will be very boring. There is no taste, no adventure. When you don't know, and when you face the problem, it's challenging because it's just like a mathematics. Whenever you find the questions, you have to solve, because definitely you're going to face. The time will come for you to to face. And I really like the example you make. If you drive so fast, 180 miles per hour, then when you face the speed breaker, okay, once you face the speed breaker, the whole car will, have like a big jump. So you don't have a control. So if you drive slow, once you face the speed breaker, it won't have like a big jerk. So that is why we have to slow down. Slow down, try to understand. Understand whatever you do. I would say understanding comes first. Clarity comes first. Without understanding, whenever you do anything, definitely you feel difficult. Once you understand, you don't have to believe me. You just practice. You just learn everything with understanding. You don't see anything as a problem, or you don't feel anything as a trouble, and you don't feel difficult as well.
But understanding,
Yes.
that's the quite a lot of experience. I mean, a lot of practitioners' experience. It looks like I understand. After some time, this teacher come and says, no, that is not right. You are wrong. And then I understood something. Then again, some other teacher comes or other master comes, says, no, yes, but it's not complete, or it's fragmented. It's not right.
Yes, Masaji. I see this as a game, as a game. So once you are in a learning process, definitely you will meet different types of teachers, different types of masters in your life. Definitely, definitely. So it is okay, it is fine to have a differences. Different master says this is right, different master say this is wrong. It's okay. It's everything is part of life.
But I get confusion. No, what I'm understanding is right or wrong.
Right, that is the goal, because the more confusion you have, it means you still don't understand. It means you still have the space for you to have a clarification. So
That's why it's difficult to apply in my daily life, because my understanding is not complete and I'm not enjoying what I'm applying.
Uh, yes, so that is why. So whenever you learn anything from any masters, always remember that you have a sixth sense. First, we have to understand we have a sixth sense. Don't forget that we have a sixth sense. What are the six senses? You have eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, and your mind. So all this six senses helps you to have a clarification. Make sure you understand. So sometimes once we see, maybe we have a certain perspective. Once you listen, you have a different perspective. So once you use the six senses into any learning, the more you learn, the more fine-tune yourself for a better understanding. So confusion definitely arises. Definitely confusion comes, because confusion comes due to lack of understanding. So that is the healthy things. I see that healthy thing. Once you have confusion, I don't see confusion as a bad thing. Confusion is fine. As long as you have confusion, you want to stay on or you want to move further. I myself, I move further. Whenever I have confusion, I try to find answer from this master, from that master, from this book, from that book. Listen to here, listen there. So the more you listen, the more you read, the more you question yourself, the more understanding comes. So the the confusion will getting less and less, not increase. I personally, with my experience, I don't see that uh, my confusion is getting increased. My confusion is getting less and less. If you stay there, if you are not moving, then definitely that confusion will disturb you. If that confusion doesn't disturb you, it is fine. Don't you think so, Masaji?
Yeah, the idea sounds like In order to understand, I need intelligence. The question is, if I don't have enough intelligence, what to do?
That is another question. Then I need a cup of tea to think about that. So, yes, the capacity of understanding or the intelligence, I think we can increase if you really want. If you really want, yes, it will improve. Definitely, everything is by training, right? Everything. If you are not chef, if you learn to cook, and if you accept that you can be a cook, one day, the more dishes you learn, the more dishes you practice, you will become. Don't you think so?
Possible.
Yeah. So if you live in a more tamastic lifestyle, very sluggish lifestyle, you don't feel to learn, you don't have that strength to learn, then you have confusion and you don't want to improve yourself, then you will stay like that forever. But if you want to change, if you want to learn more, change it and better, then by practicing or by training certain things will change. Nothing stays forever.
But the emotional disturbance, the emotional non-acceptance, like my friend circle said something, I feel hurt. My family members didn't do what I want, or they also said something. This non-acceptance, even though we study, we hear, and all these things, this judgment that person should behave this way, should not behave the other way. If the person behaves the other way, it's hurting me. So even to understand this, that person behaving according to their capacity or according to their mindset, nature of their mind. They may be said something about me, but I should not get hurt, or my peace, my mind condition should not function depends on their action. This is seems very simple thing, but even bring this into practice, application. This is what the application, right? Even this seems the biggest challenge for many. I'm talking about those who are practicing yoga, listening, studying, want to change, want to bring the peace. So the question comes, it's not only non-accepting, judgmental mindset, plus it seems like I need certain intelligence in order to understand this. If it is not intelligence, if it is based on the experience, then what activities need to be done? Again, it is I feel like it's not supposed the guidance come from other person, because the basic guidance are there always. So the applications, whether I am willing to take one step away from my comfort zone. So a lot of people not able to apply, I see, it's because it's by default from the childhood we have been building our own comfort zone. We don't want to take risk. If there is something painful, we don't want to do that. If something extra work, we don't want to do that. We look for something easiest way. So this mindset we have maintaining, protecting our own comfort zone, not ready to take one step away, is not creating the opportunity to bring the practice in daily life. How do you see this actually?
Yes, Masterji, that is the big issue for everyone, because that is the first step, is a difficult step. And I would say that naturally everyone, they will and they have to take the step once the terms and conditions arrives. Many people I have seen that they are living in their comfort zone, but everything has the expire date. Once the expire date comes, and they feel very difficult, and they have to change, and they have to adapt to the new system, whatever things, and it's difficult for them, but they change when the time comes. So if they understand earlier, then it will be easier and it will be natural for them to adapt with that certain conditions. So therefore, why we have to learn, why we have to learning more from different masters, from different texts, from different gurus. Why we are learning, because that helps you. So instead of saying that it makes me confusion, and I would say everything is healthy. Don't see that as a negative. See as a different point of view, and see whether their teachings suits you after practice. Definitely remember, my suggestion for everyone, every listeners, is to practice first, apply first. Once you have that certain result, and ask yourself, that results brings you positive and happy, then continue. But never ever stop learning. Never ever stop learning. And the more you learn, the more clarity you will have, the more understanding you have, the more peace you will have.
But is it not again accumulating? And it's like, because previously only few masters, now plenty of masters. If I keep on learning, it seems like never ending, right? The whole problem is the application. Even whatever I learn already, I'm not applying, and I'm happy to learn from this master, happy to learn from that master. It brings its own illusionary situation. I'm doing something right because I'm studying yoga. I'm learning spiritual. I'm a spiritual person. I know I'm hearing and I'm learning. The main challenge is the application. But if we keep learning, it is good, as you mentioned, like many things we can learn from that. But is it not that it's self-creating certain issue, certain problem?
Masterji, I'm saying that life is just an evolution process. It's whether there has rebirth or not. Okay, life is just continue. It's moment to moment is changing. Moment to moment is changing. So even the confusion will be changed, and whether whatever you have learned, until you settle down, everything will be changed. And at last, the question comes back to the person: are you satisfied? I really meant that once you have completed so many years of learning, the satisfaction should be there, right? Because the time has spent, money we can earn, but once your lifespan, the time gone, it won't come back again. So it won't return again. So it cannot buy. Right? So we have to ask ourselves, you're going to spend the time, and that time you cannot buy, whether you have learning going to help you or going to disturb you. Going to help you means your mind, and going to disturb you, again, it comes back to your mind. So whatever is going to help you to learn or practice for peace, and I would really encourage everyone to learn. So if your learning brings you more disturbance, then we have to change our direction. We have to change our direction. Don't you think so?
I'm not still saying that it is not that should not learn, but even this mindset, because it brings that illusion I'm doing something right, so it is not disturbing because I'm learning something. I know something new. I know better than yesterday, and I know more about this so-called spirituality. So that brings satisfaction. That satisfaction creating
Certain illusions.
illusion. Okay, I'm good. I'm doing right thing. So when the happiness is there also, it's not the happiness is not there because it's a new thing, right, to the mind. So the anything new comes which is not harming means that mind will be happy.
Mm.
New food happy, new place happy, new person happy, new taste happy. So it is new thing it has to see. So this in that way, this knowledge also getting new. Oh, this I don't know before. Oh, this is the way it has to work. So that's the way it brings that joy also, happiness also. But when this emotional situation comes, then I'm so happy until I see this person. This person I don't like. All this happiness disappear because that other person is there. And that is what we are seeing, like total acceptance. Wherever you are not trying to control other person, other place. But I'm okay. But this emotional equanimity is not happening. And the emotional equanimity not happening, there is no peace. It comes with a lot of conditions to be in peace. So the life continues. The application is not really fully happening. That's how I see it is continuing.
Yeah. I'm saying, Masterji, like that illusion, even that illusion has an expired date. So once your mind is evolving better and better, that illusion also will be part of your learning. And one day, then time will come. Time will come that you see yourself that you were in that illusion, and you have changed because everything has expiry date. So I'm seeing that uh, as long as you have lived a quality life, that's a beautiful life. So that quality is differ for everyone. That
I hope the expiry date of this kind of illusion comes faster, not staying longer.
right.
Like a food validity only one day.
Right. So, Masterji, I think we have to conclude our speech, and I would like you conclude after me. And so, the most important things is that I'm saying we have to apply whatever we have learned from different teachers, from different masters, or from different gurus, from different texts. Learn, contemplate, understand, and practice and apply, and see whether the results brings positive or negative. If brings positive, then continue. If negative, stop and change. So once it brings you negative for certain time, then you change, not right away. Because whenever we do, for example, when we do yoga asana, so it brings, physical pain. So physical pain is negative, so it's very painful. So I want to stop learning yoga. So don't stop immediately. See that pain is there all the time or reducing. Okay, if reduce, then if that practice, whatever practice or whatever you have learned in your life,
We will say other way. The physical pain,
uh,
you don't see it, the physical pain, you keep doing it until you enjoy the pain. The pain will not reduce.
okay, because you are getting more advanced asanas, definitely. But usually when we practice certain asana, in the beginning, the same pain won't be there when you are practicing for certain days.
Yeah, it's a different pain. It's a pleasant pain.
Right, right. So things will change. So before we do anything or learn anything, my personal sharing, is a humble request as well. Use all your six senses properly, because this is a best tool we have as a human. We can really use for everything. So eyes is for confirmation, ears is for confirmation, and nose is for confirmation, tongue is for confirmation, skin is for confirmation. We can confirm again and again, and then our mind contemplate, think, So all that, make sure you are in the right direction, and use that, because this function, end of the day, end of your life, is that function's going to become a weaker and weaker. We are going to get older and older. Your eyesight, your ear sight, hearing, everything get poor in all these organs. So make use of that as long as it's healthy. Understand, and once you have that clarity, just go on. Enjoy your life. I would say enjoy your life. Life is enjoying. Don't see life as a suffer. Yeah, that is my conclusion for today, Master. And please, you have to conclude right now.
My conclusion is this. The whole application comes by doing one thing. Whether change happens or not, whether a lot of effort we put or not, the change happens as per our wish or not, the application is only one thing, which is total acceptance. Whether you like it or you don't like it, whether it is positive or negative, whether it is painful or pleasure, whether life or death, we have only one choice: total acceptance. Anything happening, total acceptance. That's itself a complete application. Because no other choice.
No choice. No choice. Yes. So, dear viewers, so we don't have choice. We have to face the problem, and we have to find the solution for the problem, and we have to solve the problem, and we have to let it go. So don't have choice. So thank you very much, Master Ji.
Thank you.
So nice to talk to you again, and I wish to see you soon. And I would like to invite all the viewers for our next show in Taipei, 新庄 文化艺术中心 is a cultural art center. We have a show called 法语花香, and all of you are welcome. And I just heard that the afternoon show, 2:30 show, is completely fully booked. We don't have a seat, but still evening show at 7 o'clock. It's still there are some seats available, and kindly book your seats and enjoy the show. It will be very enlightening show, and I'm very, very sure you will like the show. And make sure bring this tissue. It will be useful for you. Wipe your tears, because you will be very touched. You will be very touched, and thank you so much. I will see you, all of you, on the show.
I will see you there, Master. I'll also be there. So see you there.